What is going on, YouTube? We're back at it again. Today is day number 2 or part 2, installing the heads back on the Subaru. So we did pull them off. Well, the engine was in the car, and you can see pretty much this right here. See how that cylinder is clean there, and that one's all dirty. So that pretty much confirms that that cylinder there had a blown head gasket. So if we go over here to the head, we kind of got the same thing going on here. See, this one's all dirty and that one's pretty clean. And we can also take a look at our head gasket here. You can see it here. Actually, there it is. So if you look right here, right on this little spot, there's a little burnt spot, and that's all it takes for your head gasket to fail. And I don't know if you guys can quite tell, but it's actually cracked right on the inside here. So, but that's all it takes for your head gasket to fail. When that compression gets through to that coolant, it makes the vehicle get hot, and that's all what happens. Cheap little gasket. So yeah, guys, I mean, we're gonna start putting it back together. Next step in this process, I guess, is cleaning it all up. So right now that you got the cylinder heads off, I gotta take a little razor blade and scrape all this crap off here. You know, just make sure all the surfaces look clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that to this, and then I'm gonna check it with the straight edge, make sure it's still flat. If it's flat, we're just gonna slap them right back on there, guys. So we gotta clean the top of the blocks as well. So I'm gonna save you guys the time on that. I'll just go ahead and knock that all out, and then once we start putting head gaskets and stuff back together, we'll get back to you guys. All right, guys, so we got this thing all scraped up and clean as this is gonna get right now. So we got our new head gaskets here. I did just get some cheap eBay ones or Amazon ones. I think there were 60 bucks for that whole set. So we're gonna see how they work. Looks like these ones are just multi-layer steel. The original ones had steel and cardboard on them, some kind of a cardboard gasket around the edges. So I'm hoping it's not gonna make much of a difference, but I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna put it on. It looks like they match up exactly, so all of our holes line up and everything. So it is the same gasket, just made out of steel. So maybe, I mean, from my knowledge, usually multi-layer steel gaskets are better than cardboard gaskets. So we'll see if hopefully they work better. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide this thing on here. Let's see, it goes this way. No, that's not right. That's not right. It goes this way. All right, guys, so I think this is the trick here. So I know it looks kind of sketchy, but this one bolt is actually holding up the cylinder head, just kind of laying there, and I got this other one kind of stuck back here in the back corner. So the cylinder head's kind of just sitting there. So even if I tap it, it's not going to move. But that's kind of what you got to do. You get it about halfway in, and then you're going to grab your head gasket, and you're kind of just going to slide it in there. You know, make sure you don't bend it or kink it, or, you know, get it dirty. You just kind of nicely slide it into there and line it up, and make sure you put it in the right way, and then you should be able to set the head down on top of the head gasket and run one of the bolts in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and you guys can watch. There you go, guys, just like that. Looks like she's all lined up. It's in there the right way. Just had to move a couple of the bolts out of the way, but now it looks like she's pretty much lined up, guys. So now it's just kind of wiggling your other bolts, kind of wiggling it and jiggling it until you get it in there, guys. And I'm going to tell you, it's not an easy process, but it can be done. So we're going to go ahead and continue right here. Almost, guys. Almost got it. Alright guys, so I don't know if you guys could tell, but man, that was not easy. So it took me about 10 minutes messing with it, wiggling it up and down, pulling the bolts in and out. You know, you kind of got to slowly feed it in there and make sure your head gasket doesn't move at the same time, and it is a really big pain. So that's what I said. I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up between whether it actually helps or if it doesn't, you know, pulling the engine out or not. So I mean, it can be done, so that's why I'm doing it, to prove a couple buddies wrong. So just let them know I did it, but you know, it is what it is. So guys, the next step in the process is to torque the head. So there's a torque procedure we got to follow on these Subarus. You got to be pretty damn specific on them. They're really delicate. If you don't do it right, they almost always guarantee to blow again. So I'll put a procedure somewhere right here, I guess. And yeah, if you guys want to follow that procedure, go ahead. That's what I do. I mean, I get it as close as I can, and let's do it. Alright guys, she's on there, she's torqued, and it looks pretty dang good. So now we're just gonna rinse and repeat and do the same thing on the other side here. So I'll put you guys on a quick time lapse while I do this one here. Alright guys, so as you can see, she's on there guys. She's torqued and everything ready to go. So this one's a little bit easier to put on than that one. I don't know if you guys could tell by the time lapse, but that one was a big pain. This one went on pretty smooth, and you got a little bit more room to fit your torque wrench and stuff in this side. So what you end up got to do is just get the right size socket, and you can fit in there just enough to torque it and yield the bolts, you know. So next step is we're gonna have to put our timing belt on. So I think I showed you guys a little bit on the last video how to put it on top dead center, but we're gonna go ahead and do it again. First things first is I gotta find my tensioner, which is somewhere around here. And then we gotta compress that thing down with a vise or some kind of clamp and stick a pin through it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll bolt it on, and then we'll show you guys how to put this thing on top dead center. Alright guys, so this is what you end up having to do. I got a big C-clamp here, and I got a pin from an old job. So these come in all timing belt kits most of the time. They have these hydraulic tensioners, but all you got to do is twist this thing in slowly. You want to do it real slow, because if you don't do it slow, you're going to end up busting the tensioner. It'll pop the shock in there, and then, or the hydraulic out of there, and then it won't work no more. So your belt won't ever get tight, and then you're going to mess up your engine. So you got to do this thing really slow. Take your time. If you feel it get hard, just let it sit for a couple seconds, and then you can give it a little bit of a go again. It should just go in real easy like that. So I had already done it for maybe, you know, 20-30 seconds. So it takes maybe a minute or two to push this thing in, and then once you can get the pin lined up, you just want to push it through. There it goes. So you can just let it off. And I just realized I did it backwards, so I'm just going to go ahead and compress it again, slide the pin in through the other side. There you go. There you go. Simple as that, guys. So you're just going to want to slide it almost all the way out, just to the edge. Just like that. Now you're ready to go put your belt on. Okay guys, so hopefully you guys can see this. We're going to start with our crank. You can see there's a little white mark on there, and it's got a line down here, and that one's actually got to line up with this little mark here, and that's on the top of the crank sensor, so, or on the bottom of the crank sensor. So that's going to be our main pulley. After that, we're going to go to this one, and we got to get this white mark to line up with this line here. So this is actually right between the cylinder head and the cam holder. So that's your mark right there. So that looks like that one's on time. And then we got our third mark over here. So we got our other cam gear, got a white mark right there, and we got a little slit up here in our timing cover. So those got to line up. So once you get all three of those lined up, you just go ahead and slap your timing belt on there. Luckily somebody had already replaced this timing belt, so this one's actually got aftermarket marks on it, so we're going to be able to see if we are on time or not. See, so we got our crank mark there. Or actually, this one's your crank mark here. This is going to be your first crank or cam, and then we're going to have one more mark down here for our other cam. So we're just going to get those all lined up, put it on there, and then we can pull our pin on our tensioner. Okay, so check it out. We got that one there. The mark's kind of off on the belt, but our timing mark is lined up. We got our crank pulley on, and we got our other cam on. So next thing you want to do, guys, is spin this thing over. You want to make sure it doesn't get stuck at all. So you want to do 2 revolutions of the crank, and you can hear it sounds like it has good compression. So far so good. So that's 1 revolution there. You can see our top dead center mark there, and we're gonna go ahead and do another one. You can hear the compression coming out of the engine, so it sounds good again. And then we line up our marks again. So it looks like we're right there. So your timing marks on the belt are gonna be off because it already rotated, but we got our mark here. Lines right up with our crank sensor. We got our mark over here on our right cam, lines right up with our timing cover, and we got our mark over here that lines right up with that line there. So it looks like we're good to go, guys. The rest of this stuff is pretty simple. We just got to put the valve covers back on each side first, then we got to put our intake back on, put our timing cover back on, radiator, so, and all of our pulleys and belts. So I'm pretty much just going to put you guys on a time lapse for the rest of it. It's as simple as plugging everything back in. We got all the hard stuff out of the way, torquing the heads, putting it on time. So let's get this thing knocked out, guys. I want to get this thing done today. So let's keep on going. Alright guys, so we quite didn't get it finished up yesterday, but I banged it all out right now. It was pretty simple. It was just the radiator and the exhaust underneath and a couple lines underneath, but other than that, the whole thing was in there yesterday. So I knocked this all out right now in maybe another 15-20 minutes. So let's go ahead and try and fire it up, guys. I already topped off the coolant. It's got good oil level, so let's fire it up, see what she does. All right guys, let's give this a go. So she's already pretty warmed up. It hasn't overheated yet. So last time I let it warm up like this though too, and she was doing pretty good all up until I drove around 5 or 6 blocks. Then it just really started overheating. So if she makes it further than 5 or 6 blocks, I'm assuming our problem's going to be fixed, and I'll take it for a little bit longer test drive. So just take a turn here. So far no check engine light, no rattles, nothing like that, and she sounds pretty damn good. It's got some get up and go, man. Heck yeah, guys. So I mean, last time I drove it about that far and she was already overheating, so I'm gonna assume she's good, guys. If I get any other updates, I'll let you guys know. All right guys, so we just got back from a good 20-30 minute test drive. Took it on the freeway, drove it around town here, no problems whatsoever. So I think this thing is good to go. I mean, she was running and driving great, AC's clicking on and off, and I think, man, she just needs a detail now, guys. So I'm gonna hit up my my guy Sele 509, and he'll give it a quick wash and wax and clean it up, and she should be ready to go, guys. So like I said, I probably overpaid for this one a little bit. I mean, I think I'm into it now, maybe around 3,500, but they do sell for 5 to 6, so it is a little bit higher mileage, but someone might appreciate the fact that it's just had the head gaskets done. So I'll have to see if I can squeeze maybe 6 out of it. So I still want to, you know, kind of double my money, but it's going to be a little bit harder. And at this point too, it might be a payment plan. So if somebody comes and gives me the half down that I usually ask for these cars, which would be the $3,000, I'd be out of it my money, and then they would just make their payments on it. So, you know, just another one to make some money, guys. So remember, stay up, hustle hard.